One of the top topics out there right now is that so many people are predicting that home prices locally and nationally are going to start dropping, and maybe dropping big time. But I will just tell you this from experience and studying the data. For home prices to drop, we need to see a big surge in the amount of homes for sale. And I'm afraid I don't think we're going to see that surge in home inventory. There's 5 reasons why. Okay, first is home builders have already started to dramatically slow down their permits and starts by about 20%. That means they're going to be building fewer homes. And this is drastically different compared to about 2006. I know going back from 2002 to 2005, home builders in Metro Denver built about 80,000 new homes. During that time period, fewer than 10,000 net new people moved to Denver. So home builders seriously overbuilt in the 2000s, and by 2006 they had 30,000, or actually more than 30, they had actually 30 months of homes for sale inventory. So we had this huge supply of homes for sale, both new and existing, that caused prices to drop. One of the reasons. Reason number 2 why I don't think we're going to see a surge in inventory is today's mortgages are much safer. Back 15 years ago, 35% of all mortgages were adjustable rate mortgages or ARMs. And most of them back then were the very dangerous option ARMs and subprime ARMs, where the rates could go up 5-6% after the initial 2 or 3 year interest rate, fixed interest rate period. And thus all of a sudden, tens of thousands of homeowners' rates went from 7 to 12, and they could barely afford the home at 7, and they were SOL at 12%. They had to sell their home. Their mortgage forced them to sell their home. Today, only 3% of all mortgages are adjustable rate mortgages. So people's mortgage isn't going to force them to sell their home. Third, right now the unemployment rate here in Colorado is 3.7%, same as it is across the country. Back, unemployment peaked at nearly 9% in 2009. And when unemployment rates rise to above 8-9%, you'll start to see more inventory of homes for sale as people can no longer afford their homes potentially. But we're a long ways away from that. The unemployment rate would need to more than double for probably a year or 2 for this to happen. The 4th reason is today, homeowners have a ton of equity. Most homeowners, especially here in the Metro Denver, have equity of over $100,000 in their home. So they're not going to give up their home and lose that equity potentially at all. And just realize they have a lot of skin in the game, whereas you go back from like 2002 through 2006, many of the mortgages were done with no money down. So the homeowners had no skin in the game, and thus, weren't going to lose anything if they let their home go to foreclosure or to short sale. Reason number 5 why I don't think we're going to see a big surge in housing inventory, and this one's huge. Back this spring, I think it was April, May, Redfin reported that here in Colorado, homeowners with a mortgage, 61% of them have a mortgage rate under 4%. Let that sink in. Today's rates, have been in the 6s. They've hit over 7% earlier this year. And thus what's called, and I started terming this back in 18, the lock-in effect, of where people aren't going to move to that bigger, better home when their current mortgage rate is 3, and mortgage rates today are more than double of that. They're just not going to move. People are only going to move because they have to. Marriage, divorce, having kids, job relocations. Thus, inventory levels are going to stay muted or will not ever rise very much. So those are 5 reasons why I don't see housing inventory surging, and thus I don't see home prices dropping year over year here in Metro Denver. And if you'd like to learn more, just text me, 303-881-6374.